Destruction is our creed. We seek the thrill, gold and glory. It's the only life we need. We trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, when we're given one, we don't rest until it's done. Oh, be my sword and my mercenary band. I live the life of the mercenary. I court death near every day. I do not fear it. Oh, come and take me, but let me ride once more this day. I trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, and when I'm given one, I don't rest until it's done. Oh, me, my sword and my mercenary band. We trek across the land, seeking the jobs for helping hands. If any need a battle to be won, and when we're given one, we don't rest until it's done. Oh, me, my sword and my mercenary band. I've made a home of the winding road, traded my living for wanderer's woes. Feet on the earth, head in the clouds, I walk the world alone. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. Back home there are farmers and blacksmiths galore, but out in the world I can be so much more. I've met mages and fae, I've met soldiers at war, and set eyes upon distant shores. Long have I traveled across these lands. Long is the journey that never ends. Some say that I'm foolish, some say that I'm bold.
Woohoo! And we're back. You guys are live now, so don't say any rude things.
Fart, pee, pee, poo, poo.
But yes, we are back for our episode 8, which, you know, I'm keeping track of the numbers now. And last we left off, you guys had been tasked by the Tazazraelan Council as new lieutenants, or most of you, of the city, to go and investigate some activity in their derelict asylum that they don't often talk about or mention in public. Upon going in, you found mutated versions of the guards and the inmates, as well as some congealed mass of corpses that threaten to consume you. And that's where we lift back off, with you guys having defeated this mass of corpses, and I sort of have free reign of the asylum again.
Did I have Tailspire open?
You don't need it at the moment.
Cool. Cool.
It would have followed the same exact sort of path. But yeah.
So we cleared out this floor we're on so far.
So far, yeah.
How's everyone feeling? I know we just fought a big goopy monster. Apparently, holy water did not work.
Well, apart from horrified, physically I'm all right.
I'm alive, so that's always good.
More than I can say of the mass that we fought.
F is just like jumping in the goo puddles like a small child at the moment because he's still around.
Just sort of
So-
watch him and with full glee, because he's running around that pile of corpses. It's just a very funny image to me.
It's a small sack doll on fire, just jumping in puddles of goo. It's
You
not
just hear this tss every time he jumps.
Yeah, his feet make it sputter. Well, I think we gotta go up or down. Can I ritual cast detect magic? And
If you want to
See-
spend the 10 minutes, yeah, you can.
oh, that's true. That is a long time. No.
Oh, I was going to say, I'd rather be able to tell if there's magic around than
Yeah.
just.
I think it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Eth and I start playing patty cake, and after 10 minutes, he wins, and my eyes glow, and I can see magic. We teach Geo also how to play patty cake.
Like, will my eyes glow if I win too?
No. But you will get a Geo snack.
Ooh, geosnacks are good. They're better than the dead bodies on the ground.
What's the range on detect magic?
Detect magic. It's it lasts for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
For the duration, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of you. You sense magic this way. You can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic and any. This spell can penetrate most barriers, but it's blocked by a foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood and dirt.
Aside from the quite radiant aura emanating from the hippo man, there's not much else in terms of magic currently in your vision.
As we proceed through the asylum, I'm leaving Eth summoned, but also I want our marching order. I mean, I'm happy to stand at the front. The just more I get hit, the harder it is for me to keep up the magic, but I am hard to hit.
I don't mind being the front.
Sure.
Yeah, so
I think I'm-
where we left off,
Right.
you'd uncovered a room in which these massive corpses had been lingering. You had a corridor in front of you, of which some of the former inmates had run down, and then you had the way behind you back to the sort of central area where you could span off in different corridors. So far, you've explored one and half of this one, and there were 2 others that you could also go down.
So we did back left, we've done back right, but we haven't done the front half, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
Do we want to do front right and then go front left and then either go upstairs or downstairs, depending on which way the stairs lead?
Sounds good. We have nothing to go on. We saw the footprints and the growling, and we cleared that. So that's all we have to go on. We had to go on. So
Yeah.
let's
I
just dive into the belly of the beast.
Yeah.
I thought the footprints were going upstairs.
Is that the case? I thought they were going with drag marks to where we fought the mass.
Yeah.
Where we fought
Oh.
the beasts, actually.
Yeah.
But you fought the dogs, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back left
Um,
was dogs and drag. Back right was mass, but some of these bodies were fresh. So they've just
Yes.
recently been added.
Yes.
Um,
That corpse pile in particular had just been added to.
yeah.
It kind of feels like some of the people I meet in my line of work, it feels like some sort of academic is having a field day in here, but I'm not sure how we could track him.
Well, let's clear the front right just so that in case before we go up or down we don't get sandwiched.
That's true.
Um,
Is the door unlocked?
The doors are locked, yes. But I'm sure your resident finger-licking, picking man will be fine.
Do you wanna unlock-
14.
Oh,
Yep. Yeah, you're quite easily able to sort of open it up. And I'll say for expediency, the rest of the corridors on this floor are all just more cell. They're more cells with very simple beds. They look like they have been abandoned quite a long time ago. You don't find any other mutated mass forms of creatures. Some of the cells have like scratchings in various different languages on them of how long that person had been there, or in terms of like numbers or drawings, or a lot of it is very chaotic, and you do get the sense that most of the inmates here would have been put here for a reason. Moving back into the central room, there's a set of stairs that go down and a set of stairs that go up. So it's your choice on whether you want to go up or down.
Where would you hide if you were an evil person making corpse piles? Would you go up or down? I feel like you'd be an up person, but I don't know about others.
Up makes it easier to escape if things go wrong.
You could fly out the window if something happens.
Yeah. I'd rather go up instead of down.
Mm. What do you guys think?
Up works for me.
yeah, that works for me as well.
Yes, so you make your way upstairs. There's less of a cold and a sort of obliterating all personality. Up these stairs, there's a little bit more decor, still made from the same very cold stonework. But you can see there's like sconces on the wall. There's carpet along this part of the floor. There's only 2 rooms that you can see. One of which is a very large, ornate wooden door at the end of the hallway, and then off to one side there's what seems to be a cast iron, completely metal door.
Oh, this is clearly a hallway for the fancy ones. Why do mad people not get fancy hallways? What are we supposed to do with the door, do you think? I mean...
Is the door magical? Does it glow magically?
No, you still are not getting any hits of magic.
Cool. I said we try the metal door first, and then the big door.
Definitely, it's very enticing. I feel it's looking at me.
Works for me.
Is it
Sounds
locked?
good.
Yes, like most things in this asylum, everything is locked.
We part like the Nile, and we let Ku pick the lock.
That's an 18 to unlock to pick it.
Yeah, is this the metal one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so as you open this door, it opens out into quite a large room. It seems to cover maybe 50 feet. And as you move into the room, you can sort of see various broken pieces of glass across the floor. There's rustic tools that look vaguely like surgical implements, discarded across the floor and across the main part of a table that sits in the middle. This table has what appears to be various remains of leather bindings attached to it, and there's a whole row of cages along the back wall. There's not much else in here, and there are various different dark stains across some parts of a very elaborate carpet that sits underneath the table.
There's nothing magical in this room.
Not as far as you can tell.
I look at Gio and I say, "Can you lift that table? I want to pull this carpet from under it and see if there's anything hidden under the carpet."
Yeah, absolutely. I go over to the table and just pick it up.
Yeah, make a strength check for me. I can't remember how strong you are.
13.
It is bolted to the floor.
I would like to go over to the table and sort of check out that he's failing because the table is bolted, and sort of look around. And I would like to check the room to see if there's anything lurking that we haven't spotted yet.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Yes. That is a 13.
There is no creatures or physical beings in this space. There's a desk off to one side. Doesn't look like it has much on it. And then various different diagrams of what appears to be blueprints and schematics along the back wall, next to where all of these vast iron cages are. Most of the cages look like they had been opened at some point. All of the doors, nothing's broken its way out, all of the doors are open, and the bindings on the table appear to have been cut at some point.
Sorry, Bellini, I can't pick up the table.
It's okay. I will figure out. I don't think there's anything under here. So the carpet, the table's like bolted through the rug onto the floor.
The rug, but you can tell it's a very elaborate rug. It would have been expensive at the time if it were not covered in things.
Gotcha. I'm gonna take my dagger out and I'm just gonna cut a line through the middle of the carpet under the table and roll it away.
Yeah. Just more stones and the remnants of the metal plate where the table's bolted to.
Cool.
Carpet, it might be worth something.
It's covered in blood and guts. I don't know anybody who'd want this.
Oh, I know plenty who would love that. All right, we can leave it here. It's
so
fine.
true.
We'll come back for it. Carrying a carpet's heavy.
Yeah.
All right. I understand. I got a bit greedy there.
Yeah, I'm sure if we really need to. We do have a key, and I look at Ku. Sorry, I mean, we have a Ku, so we can always come back here and get it. We're gonna exit the hallway and go up to the big door.
Sure.
And I guess we're gonna open the big door and go through there.
Yeah, give me a sleight of hand from the big old thieves boy, who doesn't actually do much thieving.
That was a thieves' tool, right?
Yeah.
23.
Oh yeah. It's like at this point you've spent about maybe half an hour in this asylum, and you've watched Ku unlock pretty much every door he's come across with quick precision, and the doors just sort of creak open. In here is a little bit different. You see off to one side a corridor that leads off to the right, and you're pretty sure just from the smell coming from there's a distinct smell of decay and rot wafting in that direction. Some of you, such as Lorea, is very familiar with this smell. Is the smell of various corpses. And then this room itself looks to be some form of study, and then off on the left hand side, there's a big window, sort of looking down upon what seems to be a large area further on from there.
Kind of look to my companions to see how they're reacting to the smell, and sort of preemptively I reach into my pouch and I grab a handful of herbs, the same that I have around my belt. I'm sort of like, if you're feeling wheezy, just use these. These help great against that irony stench. And I give them some flowers.
Geo puts his behind his ear. Bloom, you're
He's
muted.
muted again.
I braid them into my mustache.
Oh, you two look adorable. How about you, Koo? And I tentatively hold them out.
I think I'll be okay.
Your choice. Your funeral.
I start exploring the study.
Sure. What are you looking at in particular? So this room is again very ornate, even more so than the corridor. There's a swathe of large bookcases off on one side with a very nice, beautiful looking desk. One of those quite high-backed oak carved chair with beautiful cushions sort of delightfully sitting on it. This whole place is covered in dust.
I want to start looking through the desk for either anything worth value and or notes on the asylum.
Sure, yeah, make an investigation.
That is a 18 plus 0. 18.
Yeah, so you find the first thing you find is in a drawer, and it appears to be a journal, seeming covered in ink stains, and pages are sort of curling at the edges. The leather binding is cracked and weak, and some of the pages fall a bit loose. You can tell that at some point the back half of it was lying in a pool of ink, so as if it had been hastily dropped or written in a panic. But that is the first thing you find. Alongside them, in the drawer, is a series of broken glass vials with some sort of dried trace of previous liquid that was in there. It's a very dark sort of purplish powder. And then in another drawer there's a various assortment of broken what appears to be, I think you would know this, Bellini, ritual components of varying different things, but it's not just like something a druid there's like something a druid might use, something a cleric might use. There's an assortment of various different components, and it appears like someone was trying to make their way through different rituals to try and make something work.
I will collect them. And there's nothing of value in the desk.
Nothing that you would consider valuable.
Cool.
Do we see in this room any form of recent, because everything's dried out, and do we see any sort of recent activity? Very unspecific.
Sorry, not in this room, no.
Okay.
Ku would have a sense that maybe some people aren't as good at opening doors as he might be.
Is there anywhere where the dust is disturbed?
No.
I found this journal and a bunch of ritual objects, like this potato chip. I don't know if this is a ritual object or not, but it was with all the other ritual objects. It's a little dusty, but none of the dust has been disturbed, so I don't know if what we're looking for is in this desk. It might be in one of the side rooms.
Yeah, I agree. It's very still in here.
I offered Geo the dusty potato chip.
Geo takes it and just drops it in his mouth. You don't even hear him chew it.
That is.
Didn't even fill you up in the slightest. That's way too tiny for my big little friend.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, it's just a chip. I'm good with whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, let's explore another room.
Next room. Time to Kool-Aid Man.
We're so confident now that there's nothing wrong in this asylum. We just bust through all the doors.
So you going down the hallway? With where all the bad smells come from?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you walk into a very familiar sight, which seems to be a mirrored image of the corridors that you'd seen downstairs. So there's a sprawling network of prison-like cells. As you're sort of walking past them, you're seeing remains. Some have been petrified, some are skeletons. There's a various different arrangement of form and figure, so genders and races, and it's a very eclectic grouping of choices, and it seems like someone was again going through maybe all the different races to see what would happen, or things like that. There are some bodies that don't look right, even if they were a different race. Like one of them has one too many arms, or two heads, or it looks like someone was dabbling a little bit in maybe trying to make something. And in one of the cells you can see what appears to be what once was a human. It's grotesque and unnatural. Its skin is blotchy with patches. They almost seem to like shimmer a little bit, almost as if they glow. The texture of the skin varies. In some areas it seems to ripple, and other parts it appears stretched as if it's under strain. And there's shards of some sort of gem or crystal, like embedded into the flesh, and its jagged edges are protruding from its back and limbs. They're not pulsing, they're not glowing or anything. But Bellini, you get the faintest hint of, for one, necrotic magic, and I don't know what school it would belong to, because I haven't thought about it, but there's definitely some sort of dark energy radiating from this corpse.
I point and I go, that corpse is magic.
Did we wake it up so we can fight it?
I look at the group and I go, I mean, like, I'm not opposed. It might just be easier to smash something.
I agree. Wildly enough.
I put Eth on my shoulders so he can jump when needed. And then I cast Shillelagh on my stick. And I go, okay, I'm ready.
All right. I sort of
take a combat stance, which is nonsensical because I'm a magic user, but I'm ready to go.
I go up to it and I ready my maul just to slam it down at the same time Bellini hits it with his shillelagh sticks.
Sure.
I'll step a few steps back. I'm not getting near that thing.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I rolled a hit.
Same.
Go for it.
I stand on the opposite side of it so that I'm flanking it with GM.
I got a 17 to hit.
That hits.
I got a 15.
That also hits.
Let's go. And F is also going to punch it.
Sure.
Let's go max damage. That is 11 points of magic bludgeoning damage from Shillelagh. F is going to try to punch it. F got a 17 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna come to life, is it?
Probably not, but F is going to.
I was wondering how long to let it go on. So basically, Ku and Lorea, you're stood slightly back a bit, watching Bellini, his Sakdal fire elemental, and Geo basically wailing on this dead corpse. And as they do, there is a huge burst of energy, and Bellini feels it most, of course, as this wave of green light seems to release from the body, and you see the screaming, tormented wisp of a face in complete agony as it is released from the body and up through the ceiling and off to where you know not.
Well, that's unexpected.
I go for a double high five with Geo and F, and I go.
I lower my hand, so it's a low 5 for me.
F jumps up and hits your other hand. We do that like triple high five, and I go, "Yeah, we did it." Ugh.
At least
Good job.
something happened.
I take my shovel from my back and I sort of poke the corpse carefully after watching the souls leaving its body. I assume souls, that's an assumption I'm making, to see if it happens again.
No.
Right. Either I'm not that good at shoveling a corpse, which honestly I doubt that's the case, or it's empty. Now, the question is, do we follow it? Where it went? Do we go up?
I don't know if we can go up anymore.
No, this seems to be the highest point that you found.
What if we unleashed some sort of horror into the world now?
Do you want to make an Arcana check, maybe?
Sure. Come on, roll then. A 15. Not the worst.
You're not sure because it's not something you often would come across. Although you do tend to hang around graves quite a lot. But there is that essence that you often find yourself drawing on. Feels familiar. And your assumption, you can guess, is probably right, that this was some form of trapped spirit or soul within this corpse.
What? I explore the rest of this room. I point at Geo and I go, help me look for stuff. I don't know what we're looking for yet, but maybe we'll find something. Clues.
I'll try.
I mean, this room is fairly simple. It's got a bed on which the corpse was lying on, what appears to be some sort of bucket, and then stone walls and hay across the floor.
Help me brush the hay aside to see if there's any spell work drawn on the floor.
I just go up to the
Well.
hay and start sweeping it away with my foot.
I help, although probably a lot less successfully or effectively.
I got a 17 on my investigation check. Trying to look for spell work on the
There isn't
floor.
any spell work. There is the dried remains of a drawing of a crescent moon with 2 daggers.
That's
And
the
it appears to
same
have
as I
been
have on the
drawn
coin.
in the blood of whatever remains of this person.
Cool. So whatever that symbol is important. And I look at Lorena.
Yes, I'm sort of like, "Oh, I have that, and I reach for my pouch and I dig in too deep, and I'm like, here it is, and I place the coin in the middle of it to sort of compare it to each other. That's definitely the same symbol, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Did you see any magical aura around this coin at all? Or is it just a coin?
I look at the coin. Do I see magical aura around it?
No, just appears to be a coin.
It's just a dirty coin.
Just a
That's
dirty
very
old
coin.
coin.
Well, in that case, I'm not going to cast item, what's it called? Identify. Okay, so we've got some sort of cult in here, but honestly, I don't think I know this cult. Could I do a history check to see if I know anything about this?
Sure.
It's a 10.
No.
Can I do a religion check? Because I found all those ritual items.
Sure. What are you doing a religion check on, though?
The symbol, to see if I recognize the symbol.
Mhm.
That is a 16 plus
It
0.
is not a ritual.
Okay. Yeah, I think, well, if we've explored upstairs, I don't know. Do you guys think there's any hidden rooms behind those bookcases?
They're mine. Can I go and try and topple over the bookcases?
Oh, what, in the study? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. You wouldn't even need to roll for it. You just go up and just immediately slam them down onto the ground. There are no hidden passages. There's more books lying across the floor. They all seem to be various anatomy diagrams, different research into various different cultures and rituals. So there are some mentions of cleric ceremonies and funeral rites and druidic rituals and some studies that the mages had been doing at the time. It seems very academic, all very theoretical. But that's about it.
I guess it's time to go to the basement.
Yeah. I guess this evil dude was not a top floor person.
They probably like the dark. That's why they chose the basement.
Boring. All right then, let's go.
We all trot to the basement.
Yes, you make your way back down into this, again, the main thoroughfare of the first part of the asylum. Nothing has changed. Still exactly how you left it. And as you make your way down the stairs, it opens out into quite a big room. Stone floor, stone walls. It appears to... where is it? Oh, here it is. It's filled with more and more blueprints and drawings and various unflattering drawings of horrific anatomy that seems to have been stitched together. You see various different races combined, and it does appear that there's definitely some shady shit going on. And as you're sort of looking around, you notice up to one side at the sort of the top of the wall, nearest to the ceiling, there's a big glass window. And as you're looking through, you can see the tattered remains of a bookcase lying against it, which is the room that you've just been in.
So that was definitely an observation study. And when they operated on people, people would come watch, like weird freaks.
Yes, it is very reminiscent of a surgical wing. The only thing in here is, again, more tables, more cages, a couple more tables that have been covered with these drawings, and you see a couple more sort of filled pages of journals sitting around. There's a big rock that's been cracked in two, sitting on another table. A very crystalline structure that's dark and jagged. And then off on one side is another set of stairs that you can see going down.
Can we go down to the belly of the beast?
Yep, I'm ready to go downstairs.
Let's go.
Sure.
Is there anyone of you that cannot see in the dark? Both of you. Do you have some sort of item or whatever? And I reach in my pouch and I take out a bit of moss. And I would like to cast a cantrip light, but I need to touch an object to do that. And it lights up.
Yeah. You can touch my stick. You can touch my shield.
I'm sorry,
you can touch
what?
my shield.
Oh!
You can touch Eth. He'll glow. He glows.
I mean, I'll touch anything you want. Wait, that's...
Phrasing.
Hang on. I'll just touch F. And is he always burning, or is he like dim now?
No, he's an hour. We've spent more than an hour since that fight happened. So
right.
yeah, he's just a doll.
So I put a little bit of moss on him, and I whisper some sort of incantation, and he starts to glow completely. And I turn to Gio. I'm like, my little big friend, what would you like to be glowing in the dark?
I guess just my coat. That's all there really is, unless you want to do the chainmail.
Well, I'm gonna need more moss for that. And I reach out for more moss out of my pouch, and I sort of smear it all over the coat and try to light it as much as I can.
Sure.
Gio's now glowing.
The closer you as a group get to this first set of stairs, Larea, you feel a conflicting feeling. There's like a pulling sensation that feels, again, very familiar, almost like it wants to be there. And on the flip side of it is like a deep fear sort of creeping in. Both of these, you know, are coming from where you draw your magic from, and you're not sure why something would fear and also want whatever is below. Bellini, you get a hit of abjuration magic, as you notice that there's a sigil just above the door frame of the stairs.
I point out the sigil. Does anyone recognize this sigil? And I'll attempt to do an Arcana check as well.
Sure.
Can I do a history check to see if I recognize the symbol?
Yeah.
21.
Ooh.
I don't think you would have.
I don't.
Oh no. Yes, but you don't remember why, but you know what it means. This sigil is protective, and it's designed to keep something in.
That symbol is good. It's supposed to keep stuff in. But we're going in, so there's definitely something down there.
Sort of clutch my necklace and look a little bit scared because I am that conflicted, and I'm like, okay, so it's keeping something in. Do you think that if we go in, we inherently disturb the symbol? Will it still work?
I will say you are not sure. Well, Geo wouldn't be sure if it keeps a specific thing in or if it keeps all things in. So whether or not if you go down here you would be stuck down there is a gamble.
Well, do any of you have any last words?
We could always break the sigil and hope that we defeat whatever's down there.
It's not a bad idea.
That way we know we can at least get out. You're muted
We
again.
could have somebody walk through the doorway. If they can't walk back out, we could smear the symbol then, and that solves our problem of knowing we can or can't get back out.
Yeah, sure. And you see her sort of looking to see if anyone's eager to go in.
Yeah, I'll go in.
Oh, thank the Lord. Okay. See you on the flip side.
I need to look something up.
Worst case scenario, I have to summon Eth to teleport me out of this room.
But what if
Okay.
it keeps you in from teleporting too?
I'd be impressed. And one of you would break the symbol so I could get out.
Yeah.
I try the door. Is the door locked?
Well, there's no door, it's just an archway.
I walk through the archway.
Nothing happens.
And then I try to walk out the archway.
The sack door falls off your back.
I can get out, but F is stuck. I think it keeps elementals in.
Huh.
Or fiends or other types of creatures. I don't know if he's a demon or not. He might be a demon. But I look at him and it says, "It's okay. I will still love you anyway."
I smear the sigil so Bloom can get Eth. So Bellini can get Eth.
It's carved into stone, so you would need to smash it.
Oh, I can do that too.
mean, I know
I
you
take
can.
out one of my arrows and I just scratch through the symbol.
Sure.
I look at everyone and I says, "Well, we gotta fight whatever's down here now." So Bellini does some stretches. He tries to touch his toes.
Fails.
And he has to like awkwardly bend a little bit because like turtle shells, obviously. And then he looks at F and he goes, "It's okay, buddy. We're gonna fight whatever's in here. We're gonna get out." And I high five him. And he climbs back up onto my shell,
Cool.
ready to go.
I pop a potion of healing really quick.
Yeah, how's everyone feeling? Anybody need to be healed?
Well, if anyone has anything of healing value left, then I wouldn't mind. I could spare an HP or 12.
I go, oh wait, and I go, wait, high five. And on high five, I cast Cure Wounds.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Did Bellini read the journal?
It didn't say
So,
anything, did it?
No, it didn't.
Well, you
but I
didn't.
cast-
You didn't tell me, so I've just been assuming
well,
that he didn't
so you
open it.
described it as that I could like flip through it, and I noticed half of it was damaged. So, when I flipped through it, did I flip through it because it was open, and like I realized half of it was damaged, or I could see that from the outside?
You could see that from the outside, yeah.
Okay. I did not read the journal, and I'm not going to metagame.
That's fine. Can you read
what are you doing
Elvish?
I can read Common, Draconic, Orc, and Primordial.
Well, there you
No.
go. You can't even read it. So
I can read Elvish, but you're not going to think Dio can read it.
No, Geo has already showed us he can read Elvish in this
True.
campaign. But yeah, oh yeah, you heal 8 plus 3, so you heal 11 hit points.
Awesome, thank
'Cause I
you.
rolled an 8.
Now I'm almost full health again. Just one off. Perfect.
No, I did not. That was dumb of me. But yeah, we go in.
We ball.
fine. Whatever. As you get
I appreciate.
to...
Listen, I appreciate the offer,
Just saying.
but
because
I didn't.
It came to... I was like, he didn't read it because I haven't read out the... And I was like, well...
No. We'll read it after, because I'll be like,
Yeah, after you... I mean, fair
after we
enough.
fight whatever's down here.
So as
Okay.
you reach the bottom of the stairs, this room opens out once more. The entire floor has about a foot of water in it, and you can hear the soft dripping of droplets hitting this sort of spread. There's stonework all across and various different what appears to be drains all along the floor. They are all clearly blocked up, otherwise there wouldn't be water in here. On one side is a vast collection of large brass containers with different tubes coming out of them. There's a tall sort of observation wooden structure built, and on the top you can see another desk and a set of chair. A set of chair. What the fuck? As you're sort of looking that way, you see a load of pipe work, and there's this fountain at the end of the room with some sort of glowing green liquid sat in it. That pipework leads all the way to your right, and in a massive iron cage, you see the hulking form of some sort of furry creature, some abomination. You can see like large stitching marks across various parts of his limbs, and it looks like to be some sort of mixture between a rat, a bat, and a mutated canine. It's like his limbs are twisted and malformed. Its teeth are like gnashing at the bars. It is still alive, and it sounds like it's screaming in torment at every juncture. It's got two different sized eyes. It's sort of drooling at you as it's sort of gnawing at the bars. It looks like that cage is still keeping it in there. And there's a smell of decay and sulfur that overpowers you. The air feels thick with almost its desperation and its anger. The cage is covered in various different arcane symbols, again, all abjuration magic. And there's faint cracks in the iron, suggesting that maybe the cage has been weakening over time. The rest of the room looks like the rest of the room looks like like a sewer, essentially, and off on the far side is a vast structure of broken stone that looks like there's been a hole that's been channeled through it. There's bodies everywhere. There's skeletons, fresh corpses. There's one person standing there with sort of a hood and very dark leathers, and as you enter the room they turn to look at you, and in a panic they go to shout at you, and as they do they are thrust underneath into the massive corpses, pulled back into the hole, and you just hear like the crunching of bone and blood. The wall itself is covered in giant, bright, arcane symbols of varying different things, and then next to it is a big square pool of water that looks like it was built for that, if not for the water on the floor. Yeah, I think that's all of it. Yes.
Do I need to open Tailspire for
Yes.
combat?
We're going to go to a quick 5-minute break while we get everything ready for our
All right.
encounter.
Well, and this break is brought to you by the Nido Nice Cube. Great little fidget. If you smush it, it goes back to being a cube. You've seen me play with it on many a stream. Not sponsored, but hey, Nido, if you want to sponsor us, you make a great product. Thanks.
All right, see you in a bit, guys.
Find me a place among my brethren, the pines, the bees, the frost. I cannot stay where nature's embrace is lost. Find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Down by riverside resting. No one but me. Leave behind your troubles and your worries. Set your soul on fire and dance among the trees. Oh, find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Ooh, where the horned one sleeps. Deep in woodlands running. No one but me. Wake up, breathed in ivy, bathed in the light of the moon. Through the canopy I see the light of the stars shining through. Down by shoreside sea, no one but me. Find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise. For the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Oh. Strike, turn, hammer and burn, the bellows teach and the fires burn. Iron, oil, temper and toil, the forge ain't hot if your blood don't boil. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade to slay that evil heel. A sword that gleams like diamonds that can make the darkness kneel. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel. And when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise. For the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Hear that anvil ring, echo song of the hammer swing. Shape, grind, polish and shine, the world ain't ready for a work so fine. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade for to purge the blight which creeps upon this world we love to take from us the light. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel. And when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise. For the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel. That when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise. For the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Killers, thieves, thick of skin, till your ruthless trial begins. Let the judge's word sink in, a lifetime on the Isle of Sin. Hey, 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 welcome to the Isle of Sin.
Jagged rock, sea slick caves, no way out but the 10-foot waves. You'll cry out to be saved, no reprieve for the criminal slave. Hey, 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 welcome to the Isle of Sin.
Cursed stone, blessed ore, swing your pick till you hit the floor. Break your filthy back some more until you strike the mithril score. Hey, 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 welcome to the Isle of Sin.
With your life, pay your dues, work or die, it's yours to choose.
All right.
Hopefully,
Is
I haven't
everyone
screwed
back?
up.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, it is done right. But yes, as you can all see, this is what the party enters into, which is just a vast swathe of alchemical objects and other disastrous things on display for all of you. There is no initiative as of yet. Whatever that creature in the hole is, doesn't seem to be or have noticed where you are.
Question, just because I want to ask. Are
Yes.
these the floor drains that are blocked up?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Flowy platform. Okay, cool. Everyone else go.
Do we roll for initiative, or do we have some sort of time?
You're not in combat. You've just walked into this. You saw one guy get eaten.
Yeah.
And that's all.
I think I would like to go into stealth mode.
Sure.
Where's that? That's over here.
Yeah, roll
it's an
for
11.
yourself. Okay.
It's an 11.
I'm gonna make...
Yeah, I will start stealthing as well.
What I kind of
24
wanted
for
to
mine.
do is to approach the beast in the cage and sort of see if it can understand us. But
Sure.
I'm kind of afraid because I'm not very stealthy.
I mean, it doesn't seem to have noticed you at the moment. It's just gnawing
to-
at the bars.
I'm going to very carefully approach it from a little bit of a distance. I would like to have like 20 feet distance or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then sort of shout, whisper like, "Hello, friend. Are you... Can you hear us?"
That's Bellini.
And I stare at it intently to see if it has any sort of response.
It because you're talking to it, it lends to it noticing you. But it sort of seems to understand the tone of what you're saying, not quite the words. It's just still gnawing at the bar, trying to get out.
I sort of hold up my hand, Jurassic Park style, like, everything's all right. We just...
Down.
We don't need any trouble with you, my dear little friend. I'm not even sure what you are.
So
Are you
now that you're
okay? Are
closer,
you
you
good?
can see various different creatures. It does seem to focus on rodent like things and a mixture of rodent and canine. But it is a lot bigger than you first thought. It is a big thing. It's about 12 foot tall.
Okay. Are all the floors stone? They're all stone, right?
They are all stone, yes.
Heck. I just sort of turn to the rest of the party. I go, I'm out of my depth. There's no dirt whatsoever here. Do we have anything to strengthen that cage? I think that'd be wise.
I can just go sit by the cage.
What if it claws you or gnaws you or something that rhymes with that?
Oh, that's okay. It's not going to be the first time.
Okay, if you say so. Just give us a heads up if anything happens. I'm really looking really concerned at Geo.
I just go up and look at it in its misshapen, different sized eyes and sit down.
Cool. Are you attempting to do anything, or are you just going to sit opposite it?
I try and talk to it, and I'm just like, it's okay. I'm not here to hurt you.
Yeah,
I'll only hurt you if you hurt me.
An animal handling check.
The first one is 10, since I have advantage. Second one's 17.
It seems to calm down slightly. It does look like it's in torment and suffering and a pain-induced rage, but it is not currently. That rage is not currently aimed at Geo.
Well, I don't think it'll hurt us as long as we don't hurt it, but...
Yeah. Do you think maybe it is upset at whatever died in the hallway?
I think it's more upset with whatever torture it's been through.
I thought perhaps maybe we would have an unconventional ally. You know, shared enemies are friends, right?
True.
But I suppose that whatever was in the back of that hallway might not be of concern anymore, except for what took him, her, or whoever. I suppose we have to investigate, don't we?
I tossed Geo half the bag of Geo snacks, or one of the small bag of Geo snacks, and I say, offer it a snack. It might be hungry.
I open the bag, dump like 3 or 4 snacks out in my hand, and then I toss the rest above the cage and let it eat them.
Yeah, there's a massive clamping of a misshapen row of jagged teeth that just jumps and catches all of them in midair.
Thanks, Bellini. And
Actually, sorry, I would interrupt.
oh no, you're okay. That was it. Just thanks, Bellini.
You're welcome. It looked hungry.
Yeah, it definitely did.
I would make it tea, but it might eat me. So
Yeah, I think we're fine for now.
cool. Time to explore the mysterious hole.
Mm-hmm. Shall we do a quick sweep around the room to see if there's anything that could help us?
Yeah, actually. I look at the notes on the table that I'm standing on.
Mm-hmm.
What language are they in? Can I read them?
Elvish.
I can't read Elvish. Can anyone read these? And I look and I point at all the notes at the table, and I go,
Despite being a half-elf, I grew up in the streets and I only know common.
I read Elvish, so I will help out.
Sure.
oh, I wonder. Wait. And now I pull the book out of my bag and I go, this I think is also in Elvish. And I hand it to Ku.
This is the creepy, almost certainly cursed book, right?
It's not magic. No. It's just old and creepy and damaged, and might explain. And I point at our rat friend. That thing.
Yeah, I'll take a look, see if I can learn anything from it.
The journal appears to be the writings of one Dr. Morn, Mahun. Mahorn? I don't know. I wrote it and I don't even know how to pronounce his name. It appears to be various different entries of days. Like there's one that's day 12th of Lare, which is a month. The first entry says something along the lines of him finding something. They found the thing they were searching for. It appears to be something called Aether, and it has properties unlike they've encountered. They posit the hypothesis that with the correct refinement and mixture, it might be used as a conduit, potentially for spirits. And lists the possibilities are endless to potentially trap souls to contain their energies. It talks a lot about extending life beyond its natural limits, and posits that the initial experiments will begin tomorrow. The next entry is, the first attempt was successful, but at great cost. The subject, a willing participant, showed signs of an unusual reaction once exposed to the necromantic oils. Their body didn't decay as expected, it preserved them. A gift or a curse, I cannot decide yet. However, there is something empty in their eyes, vacant, hollow. It's like they're trapped inside themselves. And there's various different entries of different experiments. One of them exclaims that they've done it. They've refined oils and adjust the sigils. They perfected a binding process, successfully trapping a spirit of a scholar within a living body. They're not alive, but not fully present. The only way they can keep them in this is to surgically insert pieces of aether into their body. And from that, you get the idea that the corpse that you had found would be one such scholar.
The one we beat up, or the
Yeah.
pile of corpses?
No, the one you beat up.
Yeah.
Entry 5 is the 23rd day of Larry. It says the binding no longer work as it should. The subjects are changing. The aether is mutating them. Their forms contort and grow unnatural. Their eyes are glowing. Some speak in languages they should not know, ancient tongues that I cannot comprehend. I fear I have unlocked something I should not have. A rift, a tear in the fabric of reality. I've seen it in my dreams, the place of shadow. Dark, endless, chaotic, there is something ancient in the storm we were never meant to awaken. And the last entry in this particular journal says, it happened. I tried binding the ancient spirit in the rift. When I believed I could give me the answers I sought, I was wrong. It is not a spirit. The binding failed. The power released was unimaginable. Souls, thousands of them, were unleashed into the asylum. I can hear them whispering in my mind. Shadows stretch longer now. The air is thick with their presence. I feel them pressing against my mind. I've tried to seal the rift, but it's no use. The world beyond has begun to bleed into ours. I must escape. The spirits are angry, and I fear they will soon come for me, if the council does not already. If anyone finds this journal, let it be known, do not seek to tamper with the forces beyond their understanding. I have sealed it beneath this asylum. Do not let it out. The price is too high.
Well, about that.
I already broke that sigil, so
I think we gotta kill whatever's in that hole, and maybe our rat friend, but definitely whatever's in that hole.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Cool. Is there anything in the notes on this table, slash in
Yes.
the journal
There's
that would tell us weaknesses?
there's not weaknesses. However, it does detail with a list of what appears to be supplies. However, you would expect to see numbers and then the ledger of what that item is. It appears to be names. And appears to be a steady supply of people that have been delivered to the asylum. Under some of them is a small red symbol. It's almost like a V with two little curves on the end. Under some of the notes amongst it, there's writings of fanged creatures that survive on blood, and as well as a writ that says these are not the common found in the streets or the wilderness. The Dark House has offered us access to ancient vampires. Thankfully, their souls are more potent than those of mortals, allowing us to experiment with high necromantic magic. They're more resilient than those we were experimenting on before. And then it says, thanks. And once again, you see the crescent symbol with two daggers.
Well, that's spooky.
I have to say, I have a lot of dealings with undead and dead, but not really the means to effectively combat them. So, except for brute force, I'm afraid I can't really offer anything of value in
Vaughn,
this scenario.
can you roll me an insight check?
So that one.
Cool.
Well, shit.
Cool. But yes,
Let's be real. The best way to deal with the undead is making them the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not going to be much dealing with them.
Oh.
We may as well take them out before they take us out.
Yep.
Having learned about the like ether making process and whatnot,
Yeah.
this green goo in the corner
mm-hmm.
by the wooden platform, is that the like ethery stuff or whatever?
I don't know. Are you gonna touch it?
No, might blow it up. Yeah, no. I don't wanna, this is just a pool of water. Okay. Do I see this green gooey stuff going into this cage at all?
No.
Okay. Well, I look at the group and I say, I guess it's time to
Yeah,
fight whatever's in this hole.
I agree.
And I cast Shillelagh on my stick.
On my stick.
I look at this stopped up grate before we do that. Is it like stopped up with like mud, or is there just like debris over it?
Just rock, mud, various detritus over the accumulating years.
Gotcha. So it's not. It wouldn't be like an easy cleanup.
No, it would take you a bit of time if you were to commit to doing that.
I would love to like drain this room so we're not standing in water, but you know what?
I could try mold earth. I have a very handy dandy little cantrip that helps me with my grave rubbing. Digging.
I mean, I run a gambling hall. I'm not necessarily the greatest person. Have you played skee ball? No, I've already talked about skee ball.
No. I love graves much more than games. But anyway, I kind of just I just try it, right? So
Yeah.
I do a little swivelly swiv with my
Mm-hmm.
arms, and I cast mold earth. And I'll give a little bit of a description of what the spell does. It does. You choose a portion of dirt or stone that you can see within range and it fits from it. If you target an area of loose earth, you can instantaneously excavate it. You can cause shape, colors, or both to appear on the dirt or stone. If the dirt you target, dirt or stone, actually stone as well, is on the ground, you cause it to become difficult terrain. Basically, I just want to move the dirt and the stone and whatever it is in it out of the way. Sort of try to lift it up through
I
the
would say
grate as much.
make an Arcana check, and the DC is a 10.
Can I help?
No.
Okay.
Can you mold earth?
No.
Then no.
I can punch it.
I can make earth.
Well, that's an 18. I had plus 0, so I was worried, but that's an 18.
Yeah, I mean, it does make a lot of noise as you're sort of thrusting this stone to the side and back down and things like that. But you do, as you do that, you hear this like soft gurgling, and you see the gentle whirling of the water begin to drain down. But yes, this is now drained.
Let's go.
Look at that cool cinematic.
I love
Anyway.
it. Okay, so that's sorted.
But yes, as that happens, Bellini, you're closest. You notice the beginnings of one unnaturally long limb come crawling out of this hole.
Oh no.
And this grotesque fusion of body parts and fractured souls bound together by ancient glowing sigils across its body. It pulses with necrotic energy and constantly shifting, and some limbs are unnaturally long and jagged like an insect, and some are stitched together in a twisted parody of human anatomy. It looks like whatever this experiment was has fused with something beyond the material plane. The creature's skin is slick with black ichor, and its eyes glow with this deep, dark light. It reeks of death and decaying flesh, and it just has this oppressive aura of all of those lost souls, and that necrotic power just like hangs in the air like a fog. Larea, you are instantly overcome with revulsion at the sight of this. It's not even seeing dead bodies, because you like those. Its energy, whatever it is, feels wrong to you.
Alright.
And I will show. I had to combine two creatures so they would look right,
Oh.
but this is it.
Oof. It looks awesome, and I hate it.
Let me put. There we go.
Yeah.
But yes, please roll initiative for me.
Yeah. I got a 15.
16.
Okay, 15. Did you say 16?
Yes.
Cool. Bellini?
I also got a 16, but my initiative is only +1.
Mine's +3.
Ku?
4, 6.
That makes sense. Geo, you are up first as this creature becomes like wrenching its body out of this rather small hole that it's pulled itself from.
Since I've been staring at the other creature, I'm going to turn around and then move up. But I can't get close enough to attack it, so I just look at it from about 30 feet away.
Okay.
You can dash if you want to get.
Yeah, I was
And
gonna
nice
say,
if you wanted to.
do you want to sprint at it? You don't have to.
If I... no, I'll save that for my next turn.
Sure. Bellini.
Cool. I go. Oh fuck. And I huck F at it, and I go, "Hey, buddy!" And he's gonna appear behind the creature.
Okay.
And the creature needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
Is it when it appears? I thought it was only when it teleports.
Nope, when it appears, because
Okay.
he's a fancy lad.
Where's my...
It does more damage when he appears.
That is a 9.
Yeah, they're taking damage.
Well,
They're taking 10 points of fire damage.
Not bad, not bad.
okay.
And then I'm gonna move up. I go, "Hey, fuck you," and I'm gonna cast Flame Blade. I'm gonna put my stick away and say, "This needs more firepower." And I'm out of second level spells, but now all my attacks deal more damage. And then F is gonna punch it.
Sure.
F rolled a nat 20 because he's the best, and I love him.
Hell yeah.
Yep. So, damage of the die plus the roll of the die.
Cool. That is. I do not want wild shape. I want my wildfire spirit. 1d6 plus. So 6 plus 6 is 12. Plus 2 is 14. I take 14 points of fire damage. And I go, nanny boo boo, and position myself. So F and I are flanking this creature.
Yep.
And I just stand there like sword and flame sword and shield in hand, going, fuck. Oh fuck.
Love it.
Yeah.
Anything else on your turn?
No, that's an action, bonus action, movement. I'm all done.
Larea, you're up.
I cast Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
Oh my god, it's a It's an 8.
That misses.
Yeah. For my bonus action, I cast Magic Stone, and I hurl my magical stones. That's a lot better. This is 23,
Sure.
and that is 6 bludgeoning damage in total.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. I will stay where I am.
Okay. Next up is Forgotten One's turn, and he will attack Bellini. As you see this sort of tendril form from its chest and wrap around Bellini, that is a 19.
That ties.
So it is 10 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And I need you to make a strength saving throw.
I'm so bad at those. That is a 9.
You are immediately pulled towards it. You are restrained, and as you sort of see it, this dark shadow, almost like a mist, begins to form over your body, and you can feel almost like your energy being pulled towards this creature.
Oh no.
Ku, you're up.
I'm going to run this way. I'm gonna bonus action dash so I can get up to here, and then I'm gonna throw one of my psychic blades at it. I don't
Sure.
think I'm flanking at all.
No.
It'll just be flat. That's still a crit.
Nice. Very nice. That's what we like.
So that is D6 for that. That's 32 psychic damage.
Rough. Anything else on your turn?
No, that'll do it.
Geo, you're up.
I am going to run the rest of the distance, and as I'm running, I just take out my maul and I want to bonk it on its head. 14 to hit.
Misses.
Dang. I will use my bonus action to become a giant again, so that I can match its size.
Well, you're still slightly smaller, but yeah.
Closer to its size.
You're large, it's huge.
And that ends my turn.
Cool. It's going to use its reaction as you hit it, or go to hit it, to also wrap one of those tendrils around your leg. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
15.
You take 6 points of necrotic damage.
Dang. Okay.
Anything else on your turn?
No.
Bellini, you're up.
I need to make a concentration check for my flame blade. What is that? That's a damage plus what?
It's half the damage, or a DC 10 if the damage is lower.
Gotcha. Well, I rolled a 12, so...
Yeah, you're fine.
And then... I'm restrained. What does that mean? Hold on. Open my brain stuff right. Restrained 5E. Speed becomes 0. EQR. I'm disadvantaged on attack rolls. Don't waste this spell. That's fine. And to escape, it's a strength saving throw, right?
Strength check.
Strength check. And is that at the end of my turn or as my action?
That would be your action.
Yeah,
no,
I'm gonna try
it
to-
can be at the end of your turn. Sorry.
I'm gonna attempt to hit it
Mhm.
with my flame blade, and try to sever this tentacle. And that's at disadvantage, but I rolled a 19 and 18, so 18 plus flame blade is 18, 23 to hit.
Hits.
Cool. It takes big damage. It's gonna take 3d6 plus 3. Big money, no win.
Big money, no win.
Okay, it takes 10 plus 3, 13 damage. Yeah. And then I'm gonna attempt to escape.
Sure.
That's a 16 minus 1, 15.
That fails.
Ugh. And then F is as of my bonus action, I'm gonna healing word myself because I'm hurt. 7 hit points back. And F is gonna attempt to hit the dude. Does F get advantage because I'm flanking?
No, because you're restrained currently.
What about, is Geo flanking it?
Geo is, yeah.
Okay. F rolled another nat 20 because he had advantage. The other one was a 2. So thank you, Geo. I'm real feast or famine right now. That's 6 plus 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 points of fire damage. As Geo pokes it in the butt with his flaming fist. Says, let him go. Let him go. Little Sakadal man is just doing one of these. Let him go. Let him go.
Cool. It's going to use a legendary action, and I need you, Geo, and Eth to all roll wisdom saving throws. As it releases this terrifying scream of all the souls trapped inside it.
Okay. I got a 20.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 15 plus 5. S. What is S? Wisdom saving throw. Immunities to charmed, frightened, grappled, prone, or restrained. So F is immune to being frightened.
It is immune to being frightened.
I got a 17.
Yeah, you will succeed.
Let's go.
Anything else on your turn, Bellini?
No, that I did all the things I could try to do.
Cool. Lorea, you're up.
I try to do Eldritch Blast again.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 19 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
And that is 8 damage.
Sure.
For my bonus action, it's force damage, by the way. And for my bonus action, I will cast Magic Stone. That is a 17 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. That is 6 bludgeoning damage. And that's how I end my turn.
Wonderful. You watch as you can see some of those shadows are like pulsing around Bellini, and it almost like lends out one of its arms to the corpse pile behind it, and as it does, you watch the shadows move from Bellini down the other arm as one of the corpses begins to rise behind it in like a shadowed state. It's going to summon a minion. For one. And then Bellini. 23 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits me.
So I need which one is it? This one. A wisdom saving throw.
Good at that. That's a 16 plus 5.
Awesome. You take no damage, but you are still restrained.
Let's go. Shout out to
That's done,
wisdom
that's done,
saving
that's
throws.
done.
It's like the only thing I'm actually
I need
decent
to
at.
manifest this creature.
Is this creature like back here by the hole?
Here.
Oh no, my boy Eth.
And it's gonna crawl towards Eth, sort of scampering along. Roll hits, which is a 20.
That
Not
hits.
natural.
That hits.
He takes 6 points of force damage as this thing just slams into the back of him.
You just see him wave his hands and go, dude, what the fuck?
Ku, you're up.
I am gonna walk or move down to here. Am I able to hide up here?
I would think so, yeah. Oh,
Alright.
You'd have to roll for stealth.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like I'm standing behind a pole that's very thin and everyone can see me. That's a 24 for stealth.
Yes, easily. I mean, I'll just double check, but I don't think he's gonna see. Yeah, no.
Alright. I'm gonna toss a psychic blade, and that's a 21 to hit.
That hits.
Then I'm aiming for the big guy still.
Mm-hmm.
15 damage. Psychic
Type?
damage, specifically.
Can you roll an insight check for me?
Sure, let's see if I do better than a nat 1. 21.
You know, just from using this and developing this skill, this creature doesn't have a mind for you to inflict pain upon. Oh, that would be your guess. It is immune to psychic damage. Which I didn't
Sure.
realize until just now.
Yeah, noted for future turns. All right, that's it for me.
Geo, you're up.
I am going to take my maul and just try and hit him again.
Mhm.
16 to hit.
Hits.
Sweet.
I
And
think-
then since I... Okay. Uh, 14 damage total.
Awesome sauce.
I
anything
just
else?
yell out, die! No, that's it.
Cool. Bellini, you're up.
Cool. I'm gonna hit it with my flame blade again.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to. I don't. I got a 3 because I'm at disadvantage. And then as a bonus action, yeah, I got nothing. So, because I don't need to heal at the moment. So F is gonna, because there are now multiple enemies, is gonna teleport and then reappear slightly to the left. But he's gonna reappear in a place that you can hit both of them, and they both need to make dexterity saving throws.
That is a 9 for the big boy
Nope,
and a 9 for the tiny boy.
nope, they both fail.
Mhm.
They take 5 points of fire damage.
Cool.
And then I'm going to try to break free.
Sure.
Does a 16 get me out?
Yes.
Yeah! And I go, ow, fuck, shit. Not cool, dude. And that's my turn.
Cool. Larea, you're up.
I cast Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch Blast.
That's a 16 to hit.
That hits.
Awesome. That gives him 8 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And subsequently, I cast Magic Stone as a bonus action. Ooh, that's a nat 20. How do you calculate the crits here?
Max roll of the dice plus the roll of the dice, and then your modifier.
All right, that is 12 blunt damage then.
Cool. Okay, so this hurling mass of corpses is going to make a claw attack at Geo. So that is a natural 20.
That definitely hits.
That is 20 points of slashing damage.
Dang. Okay.
It's then going to try and wrap Bellini again,
God damn it.
which is a dirty 20.
That hits.
So you take 5 points of necrotic damage, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, wisdom. I'm good at those.
So it's got 2 different attacks.
That's a 17, 12 plus 5.
Cool. And that is all I can do. And then
Am
roll
I
for the
wrapped
tiny
in it?
boy to hit Eth. That is a 17.
That hits.
He takes 9 points of force damage.
Ow, my son.
My son. Ku, you're up.
Okay. Now realizing that this thing doesn't take psychic damage, I will bonus action steady aim and try to shoot it with my short bow that I've
Your shirt.
never used. 24 to hit with short bow.
Ooh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Let me double. Yep. Okay. Damage is the same. So, Jesus Christ, that's a whole 8 piercing damage.
Cool.
I rolled real shit.
Listen,
Cool,
some
and-
damage is better than no damage.
Anything else on your turn?
No, that'll do it.
Awesome. It is gonna spend another legendary action and try and hit Geo again. That is a 24.
That definitely hits.
Is this your first time getting hit or your second?
This is my second time. I'm about to go down.
That is 6 points of slashing damage.
Ooh. Okay. Never mind. I'm close, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
And then
I think
it
it-
will... Yeah, it's gonna spend another legendary action, and you see this burst of shadow hit the ground and in a wave move out of it. So I need all of you to make another wisdom save.
All including me and Ku?
In just you, because you're on the floor.
All right.
Out of 3.
5, 10, 15, yeah.
22.
I got a 16. Is this a something that F is immune to?
Is he immune
Charmed,
to psychic
frightened.
damage?
No, he's not immune to psychic damage.
So if
Let me
you
make a
successfully
wisdom throw.
saved, you take...
F saved.
You take no damage, but you are stunned.
Okay.
And on a fail, you take 6 points of psychic damage, and you are also stunned.
Well, I passed. F passed. I think Geo might be unconscious.
Yes. Geo, it's your turn. Did you want to do your dice rolls, or do you want me to do them?
I'll let you do them.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I was just reading up on what stunned was because I can never remember.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's
Enthroned.
bad.
We use the legacy version, not the one that will show up.
Okay.
Because we don't use the 2024 rules. Otherwise, flanking wouldn't exist. So,
Gotcha.
so if you are stunned, you can't move. You can speak falteringly. You fail strength and dex saving throws, and attacks against you have advantage.
Gotcha.
Only lasts 1 round. So,
Okay.
Bellini, you're up.
Can I bonus action healing word Geo while stunned or no? Cool.
Does healing word have verbal components?
I believe it does. Yes, it does. Have a
Then
verbal
no.
component. Okay. And I can't take action.
You can't move, but you
Oh,
can't
but I
speak
could-
very well. But you can take an action, yeah.
And to feed him a potion is a action, right?
It's a full action, yeah.
Gotcha. I will pick you up next turn. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'm gonna hit him with my flame blade.
Sure.
That's a 16 to hit.
Hits.
Plus 5.
Mhm.
That's 36. Terrible damage. Plus 3. That's 11 points of fire damage.
Oof, rough.
Yeah, and then F is gonna hit. Is gonna blink. No. He can't. Can he? Because he's also stunned. Unless he's immune to being stunned. Hold on. He's such a weird little dude. Charmed, frightened, grappled, prone, restrained. So, he can be stunned. Because it doesn't cost him movement to teleport. Because he can teleport. It's his action.
Yeah, no, you can still do it.
Well, he's gonna blink. The big dude and little dude need to make dexterity saving throws.
That is 2 fails.
Cool. They take 8 points of fire damage because he rolled a 6 on the dice.
That corpse is dead.
Yeah, let's go. Good job, F.
Nice.
You're so hurt, but you're doing great. Like, it might actually kill F in a battle.
Anything else?
No, that's it. That's all I can do.
Lorea, you're up.
Right. Geo, you're down, right?
Yeah, I am.
I cast Spare the Dying. No, I can't. It's verbal. Frick. I don't cast it. I throw a dagger at the creature. I'm not proficient with it, but it's gonna have to do.
Yeah, go for it.
It's a 6.
No.
I throw it all the way over its head. It's awful. It just misses everything. That's it. I can't do anything else. Everything is verbal I do.
Okay. It's gonna try and go back to its original, and you feel that physical tentacle wrap around you, Bellini. That is a 19.
That hits.
I need a strength saving throw.
It's not a d20. This is a d20. Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy. That's a whammy. I got a 5 minus 1, 4.
You are restrained again, and you take 3 points.
Actually, no. I'm gonna burn a luck point. It
it?
yeah. Big money, no whammy. Big money, no whammy. Okay, that's better. That's a 19 minus 1.
That succeeds. You still take 3 points of necrotic, but you are not restrained.
Oh, that's fine. That's huge. I'm
It's
also
gonna
out
make
of luck points.
a claw attack at F, because he's rather pissed off at him. That's me. 15.
To hit F? Yeah, that hits.
So that is 13 points of slashing damage.
F fizzles. My Sakdal runs back over to me and is sad. He just blinks and appears, and you see little fire tears coming down his arms, and he's holding a boo-boo.
Oh no. Ku, you're up.
Well, this is certainly going well. I'm gonna steady aim again and shoot with my short bow.
Mm-hmm.
24 to hit.
A 24.
Yes.
Yes, that hits.
12 piercing damage.
Yep.
And that'll do it. Can't move.
Oh, shit. Okay. Bellini, you're up.
Cool. Okay. So I'm no longer stunned, so I'm gonna do all the things. I'm gonna healing word on Geo, and he's gonna heal. I just rolled max healing, so that is. Hold on. I love it when it happens. That is 8 plus 3, 11 hit points. And then I'm gonna hit it with my flame blade, and I'm gonna go, hey, fuck you.
Cool.
That's a 16, 11 plus 5.
That hits.
Let's go. That's a 1, 1, and a 2 on damage. Plus 3. That's 7 points of fire damage.
Amazing. It's going to use its reaction and smack you in the face.
Ow.
Your movement's reduced to 0. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Uh, 14 plus 2, 16.
That passes, so you only take half. That is 6 points of necrotic damage.
Good lord.
I rolled 2 6s.
Yeah, no, I'm hurt. I'm very hurt. But that's okay. Bonus action, yeah, that's all my stuff. And F is has a boo-boo, so no. I'm done. That's my turn.
Larea, you're up.
I Eldritch Blast the fucker again. Oh my god, I don't. I rolled an 8. It just fizzles out of my hands. It doesn't do anything. So I reach for my trusty stones again. And that is a 12 to hit. So I'm just
Sadly
out
not.
of my depth at this point, and I pass my turn.
Okay, the Forgotten One is going to hit Geo because he's the biggest. That is a 24 as it slashes out with like a claw of various different arms. For 8 points of slashing damage. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Sweet, I have advantage on those.
Woohoo!
First
Oh, yeah,
one
yeah.
is a 19.
Yep, you're passed.
Yeah.
You're passed. So that's one. And then the other one's going to wrap around Bellini again. There's
Oh,
the
fuck.
physical one. So I need you to make... I don't know why I rolled. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
God. Oh, 17.
Passes, you take 5 points of necrotic damage.
I pass out.
That is the end of his turn. Ku, you're up.
I will steady aim and shoot my short bow again.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 23 to hit.
Hits.
12 piercing damage.
Oof, rough.
Yeah, I'm rolling a lot of 1s and 2s.
Anything else?
Nope, can't move, and that was my action, bonus action.
Sure. Gio, you're up.
I am going to try and hit him with my maul. Does an unnatural 20 hit?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see, 3d6. That's 12 points of damage. And then I am going to use my second wind to regain 1d10 plus 3 hit points. That ends my turn.
Cool. Bellini, do you want me to roll your death saves or do you want to roll?
No, I'll roll it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll DM them to you.
Cool. Larea, you're up.
I cast Spare the Dying on Bellini. I don't need to roll anything. He is now stable. And for
Ooh.
my bonus action, I will cast Magic Stone. It's a nat 20! I mean, it's a very weak attack, but I'm excited nonetheless.
Let's go.
That is 11 blunt damage. And that's my turn.
How much damage, sorry?
11 blunt.
Okay.
Bludgeoning. It's not blunt.
Um,
Same.
Okay, first it's going to... Oh, he's just out of reach. He's going to hit Geo, because, again, he's the biggest thing in front of him, and he doesn't have a brain, so...
Makes
That's
sense.
a nat 20.
You don't need to roll your damage. I'll just... I'm in death saves.
I don't know why
Just
I was
lay
rolling,
down.
to be honest. So that's one. And then it's not near anyone, so it's going to go for Maria.
Okay then.
That's within
That's
10
cool.
feet, so
That's
rolls a
cool.
hit.
Don't say nat 20. Don't you dare say nat 20.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Alright, I will. So nat 1. Hey, welcome to the campaign. You're dying.
You take 25 points of necrotic damage.
Ooh, okay. I'm fine.
And you failed your wisdom. You are now
Yeah.
paralyzed.
Oh, that's not fine.
Cool, you're up, mate.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
and
jump
you're
down
pulled into his embrace.
and start running. I'm gonna get to here.
Mm-hmm.
Shove a potion of healing in Bellini's mouth.
Okay.
So that is an action for inventory. Bellini gets 6 HP back.
Wait, if it's an action, isn't it max HP?
I thought
No,
it was always
it's-
an action to feed it to someone.
It's an action to give it to someone else, and you roll for those. If you're giving it to
Gotcha.
yourself, you get the full shebang.
Okay.
And my bonus action will be to dash. Assuming I can grab myself. And run over behind here.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be it.
Awesome. Bellini.
Cool.
You're up.
I am going to use my last spell slot, and I am going to cure wounds on Geo,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna heal 6 plus 3, 9 points of healing. I'm gonna drink a potion as my bonus action. For max health. Thank God. So 10. So I'm at 16. Okay, I can take 2 hits in theory. And I'm gonna try and draw the Forgotten One's attention. And go, hey, big buddy, look at me, over here. Look at me. Yeah.
Cool. Larea,
and
you're
that
up.
is my.
Hey, I think. How am I gonna do it? You see Larea being paralyzed, and she is badly wounded by that massive attack. And you see her eyes grow black completely, and from her back, you see awfully tattered, feathered wings sprouting as she has a celestial revelation that she is, in fact, not a half-elf, but an Azimar. Azimar, excellent. And this is my necrotic shroud. The Forgotten One must roll a charisma saving throw.
Ooh. You know, funnily enough, he's not very charismatic. As a 10.
Oh, had not figured out. That fails. Yeah, it's a DC 13. They are frightened, so they cannot come near me. They can't willingly go toward me, and attacks on me have disadvantage, which cancels out the advantage they have on me because I'm paralyzed right now.
It's immune to being frightened.
Thick. Well, it doesn't do all of that. Never mind. But I still have some extras. I have another dagger to throw, so I'm just going to throw that. That's a 7.
Are you throwing it, or are you just stabbing it? Because you're right next to him.
Well, in that case, I would actually... I did already say I'd throw it, but I would rather hit it then.
You can hit it, yeah. I think you're sensible enough that you would be like, oh yeah, I should probably...
Yeah. That's an 18 to hit.
That hits.
It's not awfully strong. That will be 3 piercing damage and 2 necrotic damage.
Cool. What are you aiming for?
I am aiming for... Let me see. I'm trying to aim for some sort of joint.
Awesome. How do you want to do this?
Oh, thank God. I look at one of its many limbs and I just jab that dagger into it and I try and wriggle it around to sort of loosen tendons, and I'm so panicked from everybody falling around me that I barely notice that he's already so weakened. So when he drops to the floor, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, we're good, okay, God.
Okay. I'll say
God.
for those that can see it, which is probably
Everyone.
Bellini. Oh, Gio's actually the only one that can actually see her from here, because you're right behind him. Gio, you watch as Lorea's eyes, like she said, it goes black. You see these tattered wings erupt from her back as she draws that dagger, and it's just stabbing, frenzied, almost like bloodthirsty, as like this black ichor is like spraying like ink all the way up her face, just going at it. And there's almost like a haze that goes over you, Lorea, and you find yourself stood over this now lifeless, well, it wasn't alive yet, but lifeless corpse, dagger in one hand, sort of like this ichor dripping down your face as those wings sort of like shrink back and go back into your pack. I'm not you can play it however you want, if she would have had realized that, or if it would have been just part of the fright and the fear. But I will say that Gio saw something amazing happen. Not that he'll probably mention it because it's Gio. But yeah, you're standing there, so that still like dripping sound as it's sort of running off of you. You are now out of combat.
I want the Geo internal monologue with the like Frasier-esque voice of like.
It's just like.
I don't know if it's
just...
I don't know if it's silence or if it's just like.
No, it probably would have been like, damn, that was fucking awesome. What did I just watch? I hope I get to see it again. And then like 20 seconds later, it's like, wait, what was I just thinking about?
But we're going to go to another quick break for a quick pee and a quick cool down after a bit of combat. Yep. And then we'll be right back for some more lingering roleplay before we end for tonight.
Cool,
That's
cool,
usually
cool.
when
Thank
I meant
you.
to switch over. Bam!
Find me a place among my brethren, the pines, the bees, the frost. I cannot stay where nature's embrace is lost. Find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Down by riverside resting, no one but me. Leave behind your troubles and your worries. Set your soul on fire and dance among the trees. Oh, find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Ooh, where the horned one sleeps. Deep in woodlands running, no one but me. I see the light of the stars shining through. Down by shoreside sea, no one but me. Find me where Canoe makes his revelry. Where the horned one sleeps. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Oh. Strike, turn, hammer and burn, the bellows teach and the fires burn. Iron, oil, temper and toil, the forge ain't hot if your blood don't boil. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade to slay that evil heel, a sword that gleams like diamonds that can make the darkness kneel. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Hear that anvil ring, echo song of the hammer swing. Shape, grind, polish and shine, the world ain't ready for a work so fine. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade, for to purge the blight, which creeps upon this world we love to take from us the light. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night. Blacksmith, blacksmith, forge me a blade of the strongest steel, that when I strike my enemies, their wounds may never heal. Blacksmith, blacksmith of your blade, legends there shall rise, for the blade that you will forge for me will deliver us from the night, the night. Killers, thieves, thick of skin.
Were we
Good
too loud?
monster.
We're back. Yeah, we come back to Larea dripping in this black ichor, dagger in hand, sort of half crouched over this remains of corpse, this corpse creature. And as that silence fills the room, you hear the small gnawing of a mouth on bars as the rodent in the corner is still chewing away. The bodies begin to detach from each other, and you see the various remains of. You see some inmate uniforms, some guard armor. You see very dark leathers of the man that you saw just before he was ripped into this creature. And right in the middle, you see the body, not decomposed at all, of quite an elegant-looking elven man with long white hair. His eyes are closed, his mouth is open, dripping with that ichor, and in his hand there's a soft, pulsing, like dark purple crystal. And as you're watching it, sort of ebbs and flows, just sort of slowly pulsing.
Sure, nothing would go wrong if we touched it.
I can volunteer as tribute.
No, don't do that.
You guys can fight a raging Geo.
I will let the rat man out of the cage to fight you. Don't do that. I reach into my bag and I pull out a smaller, like a little sack or whatever, and I will.
I was really hoping you're gonna have tongs.
No, I just have a bag and some sticks. I might actually have tongs because I do have a cooking kit.
Yeah, then you have tongs.
Cool. I take some tongs and like a mad scientist, I activate my shift weave and it turns into mad scientist clothes, and I go okay. And I have like goggles and like my hair looks like it's exploded out, even though I don't have hair.
Just like a wig.
Yeah. I look like Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
Okay, yeah, yeah, but a tortoise.
But yes, okay. But a tortoise. And I very carefully like pick up the stone. I put it in a bag. I put that bag in another bag. And then I'm just like, well, I think we might want to bring that to the Shadelight Monarch. That seems like it's bad, and I don't know how to get rid of it. I don't know what to do about our friend in this cage.
If he's the same type of monster, it might be better for us to put him out of his misery, but...
Yeah.
Because we don't know how long he'll survive if we just leave him down here either.
No.
Yeah, and I feel like if we tell the council, they'll either torture him or kill him.
Killing him would absolutely be a mercy.
Yeah.
And I look at the rat creature in the cage and I go, I'm very sad. I go, buddy, do you want us to end your suffering? As I approach the cage.
It's just still gnawing on the bars.
Are you
sort of
hungry?
slobbering all over it.
I mean, like, if I could keep you as a pet, you could live at the Burrow House. But if you start eating people, that's not allowed.
It seems a little bit feral. We could try, but before we open it, I would like to take a bit of a breather. She's a little bit winded of what just happened, so I would like to use magical cunning to get one packed spell slot back.
Sure.
Head up to this area up here and take a look around.
I'm gonna drink another potion of healing. So I'm still really hurt.
Yeah.
I'm also out of spells.
Geo, can you roll an insight check, please?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not hurt.
As you're looking at this tangled mess of previous monster, much like Lorea felt like a pull and then revulsion, something about what was maybe controlling it or possessing this thing felt very familiar. There's
Dad?
something inside you that the energy reminded you of.
Why do I get a fuzzy feeling when I look at this mess of bodies? I don't know if I want to know.
I hold Eth out and I go, can you show us on the doll where you get this warm fuzzy feeling?
In here
Is
or
that
here. I recognize it here, but I feel it here.
So it's not acid reflux. Gotcha.
The only fuzzy things I usually know is mold. Can it be mold inside of you?
Probably. I do eat a lot of rotten stuff.
That's true. Well, if anybody has if nobody has any further objections, I would like to try and cast the powerful spell to try and end its suffering as quick as I can. Do you
Yeah.
want to get ready?
Yeah, I don't think we let it out of the cage. This is gonna
No,
sound.
we're going.
Oh.
It might break out, but it's just gonna have to try. I'm not giving it that advantage. I would like to cast a Scorching Ray on it. I
Sure.
hurl 3 fiery fiery rays. Sorry. At one target. I'm unsure if I have to roll attack for each. Oh yes, I make a rage spell attack for each ray. Right. So number 1 is a 15 to hit.
Hits.
I'll just roll the dice immediately then for damage. That is a 10 fire damage for it.
Cool.
Number 2 is that's an 8 to hit. That probably doesn't hit.
Nope.
Number 3 is a 15 again to hit,
Hits.
and its damage will be 6 fire damage.
Cool.
And Loraya sort of blasts these fiery rays at him and sort of shrinks a little bit because she does feel kind of bad to kill it, but it's probably
it
for the
erupts
best.
into a flailing frenzy of teeth and claws, striking at the bars, and you can see even the floor is like vibrating on each of these hits. Just a whirlwind of gnashing teeth and fangs and claws.
Do we have to describe? I feel really bad, like killing this monster in this cage.
We could always let it out and just let it
I don't
attack
want to.
us.
No, I like out of like breaking RP for a second. Like, can we, like, are we going to move into initiative, or is this a like we fight this thing in this cage and it dies?
When you entered, I had said that the cage looks like it might be weakening.
Yeah. I more so this, like, it kind of feels like we're kicking a puppy. Even though, like, we do need to kill this monster.
I will let you know it will break out if you do not kill it.
Okay. Yeah. No. The plan is to kill. Describing the killing of this caged creature feels bad. Out of character.
You don't have to describe it. No, you can just tell me your rolls and hits.
Cool. Okay. I know it's not entertaining podcasting without describing it, but it also does kind of feel like we're kicking a puppy. Even though,
especially with the music in the background.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, no, I also walk up and hit it. That's a 19 to hit.
Hits.
Cool. It's my D8. Where did my die go?
I'll steady it and shoot at it. Now that I realize we're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can both roll and hit and damage.
8 damage.
14 to hit.
Hits. What was your damage?
16.
I got 8 damage.
Yeah, it slumps into just a pile as Ku hits it with that. Was it a blade or an arrow? I don't know.
Well,
It is. Yeah, it's dead.
Okay, cool. Now that it's dead, we start looting. I go to loot the room for anything valuable.
You can make an.
Well,
Well, it depends what you're looking at and for.
Something monetary, coin, gems.
Make an investigation.
Cool.
and then I'm taking a look up here.
I got a 17 on that investigation.
There was no money in here.
Okay.
There's
I
the
leave,
remains of broken, some weird crystal things. That's about it.
Okay.
I leave the looting to the others. I don't seem interested in it at the moment, and I crouch over to the beast we killed in the cage, and I sort of mumble to it. It's fine. You're dead now. It's better this way, and it's all right. And it's meant kindly, but it comes out very crude and very disrespectful. But she doesn't mean it that way. But she's just very clumsy with words.
Gio's just thinking about the feeling.
Sure.
Yeah, I appreciate the attempted funeral rites for this caged creature.
Well, yeah, I say as I stand up. I guess we should probably look if there's any other threats. It feels like this was a big one, but we don't want to be caught by surprise, so let's check in the back of the hallway, I suppose.
And Ku, you were exploring the upper pavilion, right?
Yep.
Yeah, make an investigation while you're up there.
10.
You find a very yellowed letter. It looks like it's the last entry of the various different pieces of journal. It basically reads, "The experiment failed. The forgotten one is a failure. He was meant to be more than a vessel, a key. Now he's something else. Something else has hold of him. The binding did not hold. The aether oil is unstable. It's far more volatile than we anticipated. We cannot contain him. This is the fulcrum. To tip the scales in our favor, hopefully further experimentation will yield better results. But I cannot do it here. The doctor's dead. We shall move on." And once again, it's signed with that crescent and daggers.
Fold it up, throw it in my jacket. I think Blaney's over there playing in the corpse pile.
I'm investigating the mysterious hole. Yeah.
That just seems to be the hole leads into essentially burrowed piece of dirt and stone. It seems to have made a nest of bodies and bone.
Yeah, no, that's gross. It's real squishy in there.
But there is that arc of sigils around where it seemed to have made its home.
Is it the same sigil as we had outside?
Some of them are.
I draw a copy of this on a piece of paper,
Okie dokie.
so we can show it to the shade light. Copy of sigils from walls from mysterious those. Okay, I made a note.
Okay.
I am looking through my pockets right now as I go to pull out my notebook. I have a copper brooch with a moon symbol on it from, I believe, when we fought Karthos I got my like amulet of. It was either when we fought Karthos or when we fought. I got the amulet of Hunter's Luck. It's a copper brooch with a moon symbol. Is
No,
that
that
the
was
same?
the Hunter's Luck was down in the cavern.
Gotcha. And that copper brooch with the moon symbol is not the same moon symbol as this moon
No,
symbol.
that moon represents one of the 3 moons of Sylvastria. It's just
Gotcha.
a symbol of good luck.
Gotcha. Okay. That is the amulet of good luck. Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense.
Well, I do think there's probably still some significance to that symbol, to the moon with the daggers. I'm not sure if we will be able to find it here, but surely it will be interesting for the shade light.
Yeah. Who's
I'm
on? Who's
assuming there's
this?
more at play.
Do we know who's on this table?
That is the remains of another stitched together figure.
Gotcha. I stab it real quick just to make sure it won't come to life.
Yes, it is dead. But good looking out. Well done.
Okay. Then I think we're done here, or not?
I think it's time to go home.
Yeah.
Seems we sorted everything that was here.
Yeah.
We should report back now that we've cleared the big threat. The council can use some other kind of illusion or bureaucratic illusion to clear out the this and clean up the asylum.
Yeah. And use it to stay abandoned again. And, well, she kind of swallows her words.
I don't think it'll stay abandoned. Someone will be here soon enough.
Maybe, perhaps. Could do well to, I don't know, get some accommodation for the homeless, but who am I to say? She once again bites her tongue, because she would love to go out on a rant about homeless people. So I assume we go home?
Yeah.
Make our way out.
You're very easily able to make your way back out and back into the fresh air of Tazisrela. You're still on the outskirts, and you can sort of see the teeming city life begin to take form as you're looking out. Yeah.
What
Where
an
are we
adventure.
heading to?
What time of day is it?
I don't even remember what time it was when you went in.
We got in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah. In my head, it was like just turning to evening. You can see all the lights of the city are now beginning to come alive. And
How long would it take us to get to the council?
from here,
Yeah.
not long.
Cool. I want to wash my hands of this. Bellini does not. I look at the group. I was like, I think we should go straight to the council. I would like to wash my hands of this. I don't feel great. I would like to go home, take a bath, and have my mother cook me some dinner.
I agree.
I'd like to know how much the council actually knew of this place, but
Yeah.
we can ask when we get there.
Yeah. I don't feel good about this.
Just a lot more dead than I'm used to, and I'm used to a lot of dead, so it seems out of place. I think it's best we report back immediately, yes.
Bellini, as he walks out of the asylum, does a like what is I draw the symbol of Zephyrix in front of the doorway, like in the dirt outside. And I put my palm on the ground and I burn it into the dirt using Produce
Awesome.
Flame. And I say a prayer over it because we made the stop at the church before we came up. And Bellini is like very disturbed by how this all went. Like, this is we fought cave monsters, whatever, a troll. This was like mortal remains desecrated, and for the first time you guys see Bellini quiet and like not jovial. He is like very much pondering internally. Like as you approach the city, like he does not have coupons in hand to offer people skee ball coupons. Bellini is just sad.
Gio goes over to Bellini's shell and is like, "Don't worry, I know where they are." And he pulls the coupons out of his shell and then just starts handing them to people. Skee ball?
Oh.
Yeah, Bellini just kind of like gives you a pat and just keeps on walking.
Lorrea absolutely sees this happening, but she's too socially inept to really engage with it, so she just sort of witnesses from afar how messed up everybody is after this after this ordeal.
Yeah, we go to the council.
Yeah, so you go back to the Vasilra Citadel, making your way. Which entrance are you using?
The closest one.
Okay, so you walk through the main gates. Ahead of you, there's quite a large congregation of people waiting outside the gates, and as you're sort of pushing past them, you make your way into the inner part of the citadel, the gardens, and walking towards these vast steps, you once again see more people, more guards, and as you reach the sort of main entrance, there's a couple of people adorned in royal armor that are just sort of standing there, not at the moment letting anyone pass.
I flash my badge. I like open my coat, and I go, sorry, we're passing through on official business. Thank you so much.
All right, the council's in session, so you're gonna have to stand to the side, wait for your turn to speak. And they sort of lift their spears up and like clang them twice on the ground, and you see the doors open slightly to let you in. You once again find yourself in the main chamber, and sitting atop a vast throne, flanked behind him with beautiful stained glass windows, is the Shadelight Monarch in full regal sort of green and dark attire, with that hood and the silver mask across their face. You see Vinsara, the voice of the Shadelight, her beautiful brown wings at the bottom of the steps, as she's standing there at the head of a long curved circular, almost well, not crescent, I shouldn't say that. That'll trigger you guys. A U-shaped table with various different people sat at it. Some people more casual than other. You do see off to one side like a long, beautifully elegant half-elven woman with like blonde hair and like lightning bolt tattoos up the side of her face. Her legs are sort of up on the chair and she's kind of like filing her nails. She's waiting for other people to speak. The chamber's filled with soft murmurs, and for once you see the shade light stand, like pushing himself up. I keep calling him. They are about 7 feet tall, very slender, adorned in that beautifully elegant robes that sort of drape all the way past his seat, and it's then you see the steps to lead up to his seat. And then there's nothing else. So it's almost like his robes drape down from the chair to hang in the air. And then he's standing there. He addresses the council. And as they speak, this is such a bad habit. As they speak, in each of your heads, it's a male voice, and then a female voice, and then an accent, and then no accent. It's almost any time they finish a sentence, the next thing to speak is a different voice. And they say, as the tides of war approach, we find ourselves at a crossroads. Our city, our sovereignty must stand united to face the encroaching storm. This council has gathered to discuss our response. Each noble house from SIlvastria and its allies bring its strength in this delicate moment, and we must be clear on how we proceed. Someone goes to speak, but before they can, a very soft but purposeful cough comes from slightly behind you. Also where you entered and were ushered to the side, you see striding through the doors a very confident, well-dressed, sharp-eyed tiefling noble with an air of very quiet confidence. He kind of, although he's within the sovereignty of this room, he has his own dominating presence as he's flanked by two other people. One, a shadowed figure in deep purple robes, a female. And to the other, a very tall, imposing figure with beautifully crafted but very crude styled armor. Very dark, very black. And he walks in, and the sovereignty actually bows his head. And the man begins to speak. Thank you for your patience, my esteemed colleagues. We have long stood as a stabilizing force, allied with the sovereignty, and as the war looms ever closer, we do believe that our involvement could prove most beneficial. We come not just allies of the sovereignty, but as strategic partners. Our resources, our knowledge, and our experience in managing both arcane and political power will very well tip the balance in your favor. We offer our assistance with the full backing of our house to ensure the victory of the sovereignty and the ultimate safety of all people. And you see there's like a soft clapping. There's a slight pause, and you watch the shade light gently move their head, and you can tell if he had eyes, they would be focused on noticing that you had entered as well, before moving back. The room falls silent for a moment, as the lady who was sort of filing her nails looks up, sighs, before planting her hands on the table and standing up. And she says, "Your house's promises are as empty as their machinations are dark. We've seen your work, but we will have your armies should they give them. We will not give you any power in return." You see a couple of people like clap along with her. Someone else on the opposite side of the table stands up and says, "Such bold accusations are easily thrown around in times of uncertainty, but the truth is more complex. This house has long been a stabilizing force in this realm. They have aided us in the past, and they will aid us again." And there's a little bit more clapping. From this, you can tell that, one, whoever this people are not of Syrusia, but very close, and clearly have some resources that the sovereignty would need should there be a war. You watch as Vinsara, sort of tongue-in-cheek, biting the inside of the flesh, is sort of shaking her head at the sight of them. Once again, there's that sort of very tense pause whilst everyone's talking. Whilst everyone stops talking. Almost waiting for something. The Seedlight stands, nods his head. "The aid of House Obscura is much accepted. We will sort out the details. I call this council session to an end."
Excuse me, sir. Sorry to interrupt. I have some information that might want to be discussed by the council.
He tilts his head down to Vinsara, and she nods, and you watch as he sort of turns, and where his throne is, there's a long, almost very thin portion that backs onto the stained glass, and he sort of walks off. Some of the council members do filter out a little bit, but Vinsara's sort of stood there, hand on hip, sort of head tilted, waiting expectantly for you guys.
I walk over to Bellini and I whisper in his ear, "Are we sure we have to play our cards already? Do you think it's wise to immediately give this away?"
That was our job. I don't know what Kuz told you, but we do kind of work. We're this kind of gray area force for the council. We have badges that let us get places, but also we aren't necessarily. I mean, we report directly to her, and
Then I will trust you to do the right thing.
She backed off.
You guys hear a soft and stood by Geo, sort of looking up, is Talia, Vinsara's sister, sort of holding a tray. It's got various different cups of tea and coffee on it, and she's sort of waiting expectantly at Geo, and then looks down, and then looks up, and sort of picks up the coffee pot.
Pick up the
and
tray.
Offers him the coffee pot rather than a cup.
I pick up the whole tray and just dump everything into my mouth.
No, don't eat that. That's fine. Next time, don't eat the cups. It's frowned upon.
And she looks at her sister, and then looks back. "I'll go get more," and sort of wanders off.
Thank you.
She's still adorned in that training gear, but this time she has a long sword strapped to her back, and she sort of wanders off.
Thank you, Talia. And I look at Ku and I go, I guess it's time to hand over some notes. And I walk forward with Ku.
Yeah, I will stride forward.
You were able to read it, so I only know what you told me. But we cleared out the asylum.
Keep your voice down.
Sorry, we cleared out. in a whisper.
Yeah.
We cleared out, and I look at Geo and I say, "Shh, don't say anything."
Burp.
Yeah, you just see Geo burp, and then some glass comes out of his mouth.
I toss him the rest of specifically the rest of the bag of Geo snacks, not the crystal. Different bags. I made sure to keep them separated. And I say, "Here, eat these." And I go, "Listen, we cleared it. This is all in a whisper because I'm not going to whisper because it's about audio. We cleared out the asylum. There was a weird eldritch monster in the basement that was powered by this crystal in this sack. It's double layered. Don't touch it. It's probably dangerously magical."
You won't let me eat it.
Could I see it?
Yeah. I pull out my tongs and I like open the sack and I pull it out. And Ku was able to read these journals and can tell you more about what it does. And there was a weird abomination that we had to put it to rest.
We always heard strange things about the asylum, but nothing on quite that level.
I mean, this is all recent. If you look at the journal entry.
Right. Well, it was decommissioned after the person who ran it died, and we never found out what happened. So.
Do I know how long ago the person who ran it died?
About 5 years, 10 years.
Based on the age of the bodies, I don't think the two are related, but you may want to send some clerics or paladins in to hallow the grounds.
I will take that under advisement. Anything else?
Nope, absolutely nothing. I think it was just one weirdo, and we saw no ties to any sort of organization.
See, she like eyes you. You're new. And then moves back.
Talking that, I don't hand over the letter I found.
Mm-hmm.
I hold that back.
Sure.
Yes, I think as our companion here has indicated, we took care of the immediate threats. We've advised next steps.
Right, well done. I'm sure you will get your payment. I would be careful, though. Cyrouge is on the tilting point. If none of you are conscripted, you will be soon.
I don't want to go back to war. I want to fight who I want to fight, not who you want me to fight.
I'll just stay burying the corpses, that's fine. I don't need to go to war.
Everyone does
You'll
their
need
part.
me out. Flee.
Listen,
Thanks to
well,
your operation, your first mission, the involvement of another realm has ignited somewhat of a political debacle. Sapsathul are showing their hand, it would seem. They were testing our borders and our city. Unfortunately, we are technologically behind in some regards.
But
we don't know how they have become, well, they always were more arcanely intuitive and creative, almost to rival that of the Dwarven kingdoms, but lately it's become somewhat of an issue. and a concern. So, don't be surprised if you see some armies moving very soon. Thank you, though. I do appreciate it. I always expected the eclectic group that you are wouldn't be as effective as you have been. So I'm sorry for misunderstanding and underestimating you.
I appreciate that. I will say and I look at Lorraine and I say that the newest edition of our group has been most rather helpful.
Thank you, Bellini.
She grows wings. You hear Geo say behind
I
them
grow
all.
what?
Wings.
That's cool. I didn't
You
see
see
that happen.
Vinsora sort of like flexes her shoulders a little bit, and those beautifully brown speckled wings sort of like she's just flexing.
Ray is very
It's not
confused.
unheard
by
of.
Ian.
But also, I look at Lorena and I say, I hate to put you on the spot, but if you want to join our group, if you want to get a badge, be officially on the list.
Oh, right, yes. And you see
this
she
is who we have to
reaches
talk
into her leather
But up to you.
armor and like pulls out a badge and sort of tilting her hand offers it towards you.
Rhea clutches her necklace and she grasps it firmly and she pauses for a moment and you see her think deeply. And that pondering face goes away. She's like, sure, I've had a blast with you. I don't see why I wouldn't join. And she happily accepts the badge.
You make a good flit dancer. Anyway, I don't think we have anything for you right now. Though if I could ask a small favor. If you wouldn't... And she's like looking at Ku. If you wouldn't mind keeping in touch with those contacts, that would be beneficial, I'm sure. That's all I have, so I kind of have to stand here if you want to clear out.
Yeah, let's just pick up our money.
Yeah, I head towards where we get paid, and
we're gonna go clean up and rest, and
Sure.
maybe see a therapist. I don't know yet, but if you're looking for us, we'll be at the Burrow House, the Lucky Shell, or probably the Tipsy Otter. One of the three. We'll know how to get. You'll know how to find us. And we leave, and we go get paid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you go back over to the small elderly man sitting atop his books as he's like writing, scribbling furiously, ink stained over his face. He barely looks up as you enter, and then just quickly tosses you the payment.
Yep. Cool. We negotiated up to, I believe,
250?
3. What? I don't know what you said.
I think it's 250 gold pieces
It's
each.
250 each.
50 each.
I don't think, yeah.
I pay Bill back the 6 gold that I own.
Lorea reaches in her pouch while this is all going on, and she kind of scripts her voice. She's like, I gotta confess something a little bit. I kind of pocketed some gold just for me and the Asylum, and seeing how you all interact with each other, I felt really bad. So she gives everyone a whopping 6 gold. It's not a lot, but it's the principle. I felt really bad, so here's what I took for my own, and that's my debt settled then.
Yeah, and as you sort of leave back into the gardens, you can see the various different nobles of Syrusia climbing into their different carriages and things like that. If we want to make a perception check.
Sure, all of
Sure.
us.
Anyone who would be interested in looking at nobles.
Jesus Christ,
Yes.
it's another nat one. Really peaking and valleying this
I
section.
rolled a nat 1 too.
I got a 13 plus 5, 18.
Got a 13 plus 4, 17.
Bellini,
Yeah.
it was an 18. You, for some reason, are drawn to that face of the man who had entered, flanked by a very dangerous-looking woman and even more dangerous armored man. And they climb into a very elaborate-looking carriage. The people isn't what drew you. It's the crest on the side of the door of the carriage. It's a crescent moon with 2 daggers. And as you watch the carriage pull away, that is the moment when you realize that is the crest of House Obscura. The sort of... It's not really a sovereignty. It's a ruling house of a kingdom that is pretty close to SIlvastria.
I go, hey guys, we forgot to mention something to Vinsara in there. And I pull everyone in for a quick huddle, and I look at Ku and I say, I know it's late. I know you might not be able to do this. Can you set up the telepathic circle? If you can.
I do.
Great. In my head, I go, hey, we forgot to tell Vinsara about the crest we found. And that is the crest of House Obscura. I just noticed it on the wagon that was pulling away. They might have had something to do with the asylum.
Well, the thing is, if I remember correctly, if my notes are correct, it is a contract bound in blood between a binding agreement between House Obscura and the Crown, and that's why I felt very hesitant to tell that particular person about this, because what if, can we really trust them?
House Obscura or the Crown?
Either. I mean, House Obscura was in the council just now, and I mean, Larea might be more familiar with the monarchy, but I, as a player, am not sure who the Crown is. If that is the Shadow, Shade
Light.
Shade Light.
It
Yes.
never mentioned what the crown was in reference to.
Okay.
So
Then Larea might not know for sure either.
it could be the Sapsasul.
It could be Sabsathul. It could be any form of monarchy. It could be any reference to a group. It could be anything.
The world we are in is gigantic.
It is, yes. In Elindrian, there are 1, 2.
You have to look at
There's
that.
not actually that many monarchies. There is 1, 2. Nope. 3. Nope.
Isn't it like 6?
I think there's 6. Those being the sovereign Shadelight of Syrusia.
Sapsasul.
Sabsathul. No, Sabsathul's magiocracy.
Oh,
It's ruled by a council of people.
mages.
So I think there's only 5. One of them being Dulrum, the lording kingdom of the dwarves. Dulrum, Syrusia, I think Lankun technically is one, and also the sovereign domain of House Obscura, which is a hereditary monarchy. So rather than Sabsathul, where it's a group of noble houses and they compete to have their child, their firstborn, ascend to the throne, House Obscura, it's done by heirs, so son of the son or woman. So yeah.
Well, perhaps I'm just paranoid, but I felt that maybe we should check who we can truly trust. I mean, someone being our employer isn't necessarily completely trustworthy, though this has been your gig for longer than it has been mine, so I do trust your insight on this, but I sort of panicked there, and I thought perhaps this was very valuable and sensitive information to wield.
Yeah, I feel like we can tell them that in the morning. Let's get some rest.
All right.
But just so you know, be aware, the group that made that weird monster work for that house.
Exactly.
So be careful.
Exactly.
And we pitter patter our way out of the courtyard.
Mm-hmm. No, sorry. I was just thinking about something, but none of you would have seen it, so. Yeah, are you heading back to the Burrow House?
Yeah, I'm gonna stop at the bathhouse on the way there and clean myself up.
Sure.
Yeah.
I cry in the shower. Bellini is like very distraught today. And then goes home and has dinner with his family and Gio. And
He was just excited for food. He didn't really recognize or understand what happened today, so he just thinks he killed more people.
Fair.
I don't think Larea knows what a bath is, so she'll go to her shack to sort of clean up, I suppose. But it's not a lot better than before.
I do invite you to the Burrow House for dinner.
And she will come. She's very she would really love to join.
Yeah. And I also extend the invite to Ku, but also know Ku does not hang out at the Burrow House.
Oh. Swallowed some spit there. Yeah, no, Ku will go to the Burrow House for dinner and then leave after.
Yeah. That's the plan.
We'll leave it there as you guys sort of retire off to your various different people, homes, allies.
Yeah.
And we move over to, very briefly, that carriage that Bellini had seen as it makes its way through the city. The elven man is sort of sat by the window, pondering something. As another figure sat inside, asks very gently, "Are we in?" And he just nods. They didn't suspect a thing. And that's where we're going to leave off for tonight. And we will catch this back next week with a decision of you guys.
We're
Not
off
next week.
We're off
We're
next week.
off 2 weeks, so our week back will be the 14th
What they said.
of December.
Yeah, that one.
We'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys can have a little bit of time to ponder upon your next moves, whether or not you're going to help out the sovereignty, seek out some people, or just continue to do the odd job here and there.
Yeah.
But with that shadow of war drawing a little bit closer, that's where we're going to leave it off.
Thank
Catch you guys in 2 weeks.
Cool.
Bye, everyone.
If you're not in our Discord, join the Discord. Follow. The WyrdCast so
Subscribe.
be notified when we're live.
This is why I pay Bloom in bottle caps.
Yeah, V-Bucks, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Friendship, who knows? But follow us. The VOD will be up on YouTube. And then, yeah. Enjoy your break. If you're American, enjoy Thanksgiving next week.
Oh, that's why.
Enjoy some Black Friday shopping. That
Yeah.
has started.
Oh, I
this
almost
past
forgot.
Friday.
You can also catch
GG.
our Friday games, which are now going to be streamed live every Friday.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Which takes place 4,000 years before this, I think, somewhere around there.
Nice.
During a
around there.
different war, called the Stormcaller's Fury. But yeah,
Ooh.
we're gonna see what interesting things happen then. But
And eventually the Tuesday game will be back live. We're having scheduling difficulties.
we'll
Get there eventually. We'll get
But
there.
yes, see you all very soon. Oh, and if you do want to sign up for the Candela Obscura one shot at the end of December, our Christmas themed Eldritch Cthulhu inspired Victorianness, then you can do. I've already got 3, I think, at the moment.
The exclamation point Discord command is broken, so click on the little button in our panels below.
I don't think I have
we'll
it on. I don't think I have it made for Weirdcast, so I need to.
That's not helpful.
But,
And
It is there. It is there.
it is there.
I know the panels are there, so
Yeah.
follow along, join the Discord. You'll get notified when we go live. When there's a creators channel where you see members of our community when they go live on their own personal channels, and yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah, we're so good at this. So smooth.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Bye, guys. Say bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Eternity's a gift, they say, to never cross the veil. This life I try to savor, and I try to no avail. Curse that mortal brevity which has rent you from my arms. Curse this cold eternity without you to keep me warm. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady. Why do roses bloom in spring, only to wither and die? You were all that was good in me. Now back to darkness go I. Take with you my sanity, better madness than the pain of my want. All my effort is vanity, and I hear the ravens taunt. Your never-ending elegy is a ballad with no melody, as empty as I. Now you've passed me by. A blessing, no, a malady. My eternal malady. Eternity's a gift, they say, to never cross the veil. This life I try to savor, and I try to know